Alright, hey, what's up guys? Thank you so much for checking out another video. In today's video, we're gonna do something a little different, but kind of the same. Lately, there's been a whole lot of talk surrounding this new technique that people are doing, although, to be frank, it's been around for a long time, about how you can kind of skip around some of the bigger stuff on the track and maybe make it a little bit smoother. So whether that's doubling some of the braking bumps or just all around saving energy and flowing around the track a little easier. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through some of the tips that I use so that you can start hopping around the track like Jett Lawrence in no time. Thanks for watching and hit subscribe for me.
All right, what's up guys? So here's the thing. I'm gonna pull out a full moto on this track. It's a secret undisclosed location. Sand track up in the hills, just a natural terrain track. But here's the deal. What I wanted to do was show you how you can minimize how rough the track is. So as I start making my way around here, you're gonna be able to see just how rough this track is. It's all natural and it is beat, and it's all sand, but it's also super dry, super slippery. So throttle control and having your weight placement are absolutely critical on this track, just to make it, you know, to be safe. But you'll start to see just how rough it is. And what I wanted to show you is how you can kind of skip around the track a little bit and minimize some of this stuff as a newer rider. And you can save a lot more energy by doing it that way. And like I said, as I make my way around, you'll start to see just how rough this track is. So just bear with me as I kind of get around, and then we'll talk about how to minimize some of these bumps. So instead of like just pounding into them, which is super hard, right? Instead of doing that, you can finesse it a little bit and get around the track and save some energy as you're doing it. And I know what you're thinking, this place looks sick, and it is. It is sick, unreal. So let's just talk about some of the things that you want to do. So for me, I start reading the terrain early, okay? That's point number one, read the terrain early, and you'll be able to start to identify some of the stuff that you can maybe double over or get your front end over a little bit, okay? And that's gonna help big time.
So as I'm editing this thing, I thought to myself, I should stop it a couple times, butt in if I can, and help explain stuff a little bit better, because it's kind of tough when you're out riding and doing the GoPro and stuff like that to explain stuff. So what we're looking at here, as I zoom in on this, what we're looking at, I'll try and highlight some stuff here, is you see these kind of peaks, and then what I'm showing with those red lines is the valleys in between the peaks. So when I talk about reading the track, you want to read things so that you can find a rhythm in there. Now with the X's, maybe you lift off the front tire on the first X, set it down on the second X, and then lift off on the third one again. So you're almost doubling your way through the track. But the whole point is you want to look ahead, you want to read the terrain, and try and identify these points that you can start to find a rhythm in. That's the whole idea here. So with that in mind, let's get back to it, and I'll jump in again as we walk through this thing. Let's do it.
Smooth things out. So instead of doing what I'm doing now, and you're just kind of on this roller coaster, you can start to get your front end over stuff and make it a little smoother. Pop over it. See what I mean? You pop over stuff, double it, and start to smooth out. So let's do it, man. Let's go around a little bit, and I'll try and talk my way through it as I'm doing it. Super rough sand track. Pop over. And again, I'm identifying stuff ahead of time that I can pop over. So you see these coming up, pop over.
Okay, so this portion of the track, there is it's kind of tough to see, and that's another reason why I'm gonna butt in here. There's like a big hole there, and the whole idea is, and I've highlighted a couple points here, the whole idea is that you wanna lift off on that first one, avoid that little low section in between, and kind of put your front tire down on the second one. So lift off on the first X, set it down on the second X. It's tough to see in the GoPro. I tried to do a little bit of color grading to highlight it, but the sand is what it is. But that's what you want to do. You want to be able to kind of hop over that. So instead of plowing your front end into it, again, you're trying to find that rhythm. So just kind of lift the front tire over, set it down on the next one, and then you'll see me actually double again and double a couple more sections down the hill. And that's really all I'm doing. Let's get back to it.
Front end up, jump that, front end up, jump that, front end up. You see what I mean? You can kind of hop over stuff. So that's number one. Number two I want to talk about is looking for the smoother line through stuff. So on these tracks, there's always, you know, the main line, and if it's a natural one like this, it can be hard to identify the smooth line. But look here, outside line, see the big hit there? Inside line, nice and smooth. The difference is you can carry more speed if you go around the outside, but if you stay tighter, it's smoother, and you're not going to hit that ledge. So tip number two would be line selection. You have to think ahead of time. I can be smooth here and then pop over and maybe double the next rough section, if that makes sense. Number three is all about weight placement. Now this is a sand track, so it might be different if you're riding on a normal track that's just rough. But having your weight set up to do these things is a huge help. So when you're reading the terrain coming up to it, you want to be in that attack position on the balls of your feet, arms in that attack position, and set your body up to hit those obstacles, because if you hit them and you try and set by the time you hit them, it's too late. It's too late. So you need to look further ahead and have your body weight set up to hit that stuff before you hit it. And you'll be able to flow around the track a little more easily, okay? So let's see here. I'll talk you through some of it, okay? So remember, body positioning, having it set up, line choice, okay? And look for things that you can hop over to really smooth things out, okay? That's really what you're gonna be looking for. Hopping, smoothing things out. Let's do it for a little bit here. Remember I said inside, like cut from the out, cut down like this.
Okay, now on this particular section of the track, it's kind of the same thing. I'm trying to highlight the high points to you, some of the low points, and then finding a rhythm over that. And if you can try and find it on the GoPro as you watch it, you'll see what I mean, where I'm always trying to lift my front tire over and set it down on something that kind of makes that rhythm a little bit smoother. So trying to hop my way around the track. Now, as you do that with some speed, maybe you can triple into stuff, and I call it a triple, but really you're just jumping 2 bumps at once. But that's the whole idea here, is you're reading the terrain, right? You're finding that line that is gonna work really, really well for you, and then getting your body positioning right, which I'll touch on. But that's what I'm trying to highlight here, is those high points, and then trying to find a rhythm through there, the same concept I'm going over in this video. And that's what this is about. Let's get back to it.
Hop over, hop in, hop up, hop again, and again. You see, you can hop around the track and kind of turn everything into a double, but you have to have your line selection beforehand and your weight positioning set up right, or else it's not gonna work. So it's different than on a smooth track. When it's a really rough track like this, or just your local track that's got massive braking bumps, it's all about reading the track totally differently. So instead of just bulldogging into stuff, you're trying to read it ahead of time. But going slow is actually harder on this than going fast to sand. So reading the track ahead of time, letting you flow a little bit, that's going to help a lot. Don't fight the bike so much, okay? That's another tip. You don't want to fight the bike. A lot of times on a rough track, people try and fight the bike. Let it flow around, let it do its thing. It's gonna move around a bit on you, and that's okay. Just let it do its thing, pump around, Let it come up and down underneath you. It's all good, man. Just let it work. Yeah, it is so much fun when you find that flow. That's why I would encourage you, if the track gets really rough wherever you ride, don't shy away from it. You want to go out and ride it when it is really rough and see what you can learn from it, man. So that's it, dude. It's that simple. Apply those tips and you'll be able to flow around the track in no time. It just takes a little bit of practice kind of getting the figuring out. Whoa. Yeah, buddy. So much fun, dude. So much fun. I don't have a paddle tire on, so this is sketchy. Apply those principles, dude. I'm telling you, it'll help. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna do a full moto here, and I'll post up the video. Maybe I'll do some commentary on it and show you the mistakes that I make as I go along and what I need to work on, and maybe it'll help you. Thanks for watching. Hope you stride out